Okay, we're going to be showing you how to use the bathing system today. First thing we need to do is we need to plug up the drain. We don't have plugs that fit, so we use a chamois. You can roll it up and get it a little bit wet. And then just insert it into the drain. Just make sure it's kind of tucked in there. Don't shove it all the way down the hole. Okay? That'll keep the water from going down. The next thing we want to do is fill up the tub. We're going to fill it up about that much. Okay, so about 1.5 inches, 2 inches. Slightly more if it's a larger dog. You can either use this, the sprayer, or we can use the blue hose if it's available. I'm going to use the blue hose. I'm going to turn it on. You just want to let the water flow. You just want to fill up the tub. Do not point the water at the chamois that's in the drain, because if it's not in there really, really tight, and you're going to push it back out, and then your tub's just going to start draining. So you just want to fill up the tub. Again, to about 1 inch to 2 inches. Bottom of the tub, make sure the temperature is correct. Make sure it's not too hot, not too cold. The blue hose usually self-regulates, but you still just want to keep checking it just to make sure that the water temperature is okay. We have the base in the tub already, the platform. Okay, where the dogs stand. Just going to let it fill up for a minute. Now, we have hopefully decided already what shampoo we're going to use on our dog. That should have been discussed before we came over here to get the dog ready for the bath. We are going to use, what do we use on him, Chims? Plum Silky. We use the Plum Silky on him, okay, because he's a medium-sized dog. We're going to use basically about 1.5 blobs. How much is 1.5 blobs? It's about a tablespoon for each blob. If it's a large dog, you're going to use 2. If it's a smaller dog, you can just use 1. I'm going to pour it in here, and you should see about how much shampoo. So that's kind of 1 blob and just a quick little 1/2 blob. Okay, well, that's almost 2 blobs. Anyway, very technical. The next thing we want to do is we want to get the bathing system, okay? You're going to put it down inside the tub, okay? The water should reach just up to that line there, okay? Make sure the hose is in the tub, okay? Very important, before you plug it in. Sometimes the on switch gets switched on by mistake, and if you plug it in and it suddenly turns on, the water's going to come through that hose if somebody's not holding on to it. So we need somebody else to hold on to the hose while we plug it in. Okay, I'm just going to plug it in. You're probably thinking water and plugs, that's crazy. Our outlets are GFI approved, so there's no chance of getting shocked. And these pumps are actually made to work in water, so they're safe. Okay? Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it on. Again, I'm holding on to the hose before I turn this pump on. Make sure that the hose, the water end, is pointing into the tub. So if you turn it on and it's not, you're going to flood the floor. Okay? To turn it on, it's this little bubble. To turn it on, you're just going to step on it. To turn it off, you're going to step on it, take your foot away. Don't stand on it. Don't crush it. Don't try and pop the bubble, okay? You're just going to step on it, take your foot away. Just turn it off, same thing, okay? So, just gonna turn it on. So the machine is sucking the water up from underneath it, as well as it's gonna suck up the shampoo. There's an adjustable pressure on the side here, okay? So you can just turn it to turn the pressure up and turn it to make it lower, okay? So I'm gonna turn it up and I wanna aim it towards that shampoo so I can get the shampoo lathered up. So what this is doing is now it's sucking up the water and the shampoo combined, okay? So it's actually skipping a step. Normally we have to get the dog all soaking wet, then apply the shampoo, then rinse it. This does the first two steps in one. So it applies the shampoo and the water all at the same time, okay? So then we're ready to go, and one of you is going to go and get the dog, and then we'll get started with the dog. Okay, so we have our dog in the tub. We have the tub filled up with the soap and the water, and we're going to start to bathe the dog. What we want to do is we want to use this like we're spray painting the dog. You don't want to just sprinkle the water around, okay? We need to make sure that the water and the shampoo gets right down to the skin of the dog. So we have to do it very methodically, and we have to do it so that it gets right down to the skin. So I'm going to turn this on again, push the button. Oops. And then we're going to start washing the dog. So we can start anywhere, okay? We're just using this for just the body. So again, like spray painting the dog, we're just, I want to maybe go on the other side. Back and forth, right down to the skin. Okay? Take your time. You want to get it right down so that all the shampoo and the water are getting right down to the skin. Okay? Okay, so you want to take your time. Work in small sections at a time, and then make sure that everything is getting wet and getting shampoo applied too. Okay? What we don't want to do is do this. Okay? If you just do that, if I lift the Tara, you're going to see that this is not even really wet. Okay, the surface, the outside is wet, but the skin part is not wet. Where I've done it here back and forth nice and close, if you look, it's wet and soapy right down to the skin. Okay, so that's why it's important to do those back and forth lines, and take your time and do each little section. Don't just get the dog wet, okay? When you have a dog in the tub, in order to do the other side of the dog, you have to turn the dog around, okay? You can't do it from here because the water will basically just come over and slide off, okay? So we have to turn the dog around. I'm just gonna quickly show you how to turn the dog around. Best way to do it, especially if it's a big dog, hand on the butt, hand on the neck, push the dog's head towards the back of the tub, and they will swing around. If you pull them this way to turn them, they'll think they're leaving and try and jump out of the tub. Okay? So we'll continue on here, and then I'm going to show you how to do the head. Okay, so he's all soaked up on his body. The next thing we need to do is get his head wet. But what we should do while we're getting his head wet and washing his head is we're going to actually take out the pump, and we're going to pull the plug. Okay, so we can drain the water away while we're doing the other things. All right, so first thing we can do is take out the pump. a little bit so it doesn't water over the floor. Put it on the back. And we can unplug it so that we don't accidentally step on it. And then I'm going to pull out the chamois from the drain. Just wring it out. Okay. Over there. And then I just have to get his head wet so that I can wash his head with the Tearless shampoo. I'm just going to get his head wet with the green hose. Make sure that you're not getting water in his ears, cover up his ears, get his face wet. Make sure you get your faces good and wet when you do this. You need the water in order to get the shampoo to spread properly. And he likes to shake, so. Off for a second. And then I'm going to use the Tearless shampoo on his head. When you wash their head, it's very hard. The shampoo is very, very watery. It's very hard to apply it. Put it on your hand. You put it on your hand, and then you go. By the time you get to the head, it's gone. Don't like that shampoo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at the back of his head. I'm going to take my shampoo and I'm going to put a lot of shampoo. Okay? That's because, again, it's very, very watery. And then we're going to suds it up. Okay? Get the suds going at the back of the dog's head, and then you can move those suds around. You can push them down onto the ears, okay? Onto the other ear. Again, lots of suds. You can move that shampoo around. If you try and just put like a little bit of shampoo and then scrub it, it won't be enough and it won't move, okay? The next thing is on their face. Again, if I try and put shampoo on his face, it just runs off, right? And then I have like no shampoo. So, good thing to do, put a whole bunch of shampoo in the cheek area, okay? Suds it up, and then you can take that and move it forward. Okay, so you can, lots more shampoo than if you just pour it onto their face. And there's less chance of me getting it in his eye because I have control of it because it's more foamy than it is liquid. Okay, same thing on this side. Again, in the cheek area, put lots of shampoo. Okay, again, foam it up, take your hand, make lots and lots of suds, and then take those suds and move them onto the dog's face. Avoid the eyes, but you can get right around the eyes with the shampoo. Okay, this shampoo is tearless. It doesn't mean tear-free. It doesn't mean you can go pouring it into their eyeballs. Okay, you still have to be very careful. Okay, so again, just suds it up with shampoo. You can move it down onto his neck. Okay, and then sometimes if they have a dirty bum, sometimes I'll just put a little bit extra. All right. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rinse. The first thing I'm going to rinse is the face. I want to get the shampoo off the face as quickly as possible. Less chance of it getting into the eyes. Okay. Again, hold on to the face, start rinsing. You don't want it going up their nose. The water is going over your eyes. That's okay because it's going to rinse it. Okay? Again, hold that ear so the water's not going in their ear. And you're going to get wet doing this regardless. Reese is a good boy and I'm still getting soaked. Okay? His head's all rinsed off. I'm going to start rinsing off his body. Turn the water pressure up a little bit, and we can start rinsing from the neck again, you want to work in sections. Okay, don't just la la la, okay? We want to make sure that we're getting all the soap out of the dog. Start at the neck area, work your way back. Okay, go back again. Use your hands, push the water through the coat. Okay? Make sure you're getting each section. Make sure you're getting that fluffy hair at the back, the thick hair. Make sure you're getting it all in between their toes. And then we're going to turn them around and do the other side.
A few moments later.
So we're just going to get them dried up a little bit in the tub. We're going to use our chamois first. You rub them all over with your chamois, including their feet. Okay, get their feet dry as you can. The more we do in the tub with the chamois, the less time it will actually take us to dry and ooze out. Take the chamois, wring that water out, and you can go back and use it again. Okay, these will soak up a ton of water. All right, all over. You can do it on their head, on their ears, everywhere. Okay, again on the feet, all over. As much water as you can get out with the chamois, the better. Again. And then once that's done, you can take a towel and give them a final rub down with the towel. This is the part they like the best. It's the most fun. Okay, don't be afraid to give them a good rub down. Get rid of all that water, okay? And then he's ready to come out and we'll start blow drying. I'm going to turn the sand dryer on to the head area. Start working on drying that, okay? If there's more than one of you, which there will be, one of you can focus on getting his head dry, use a chamois, aim the dryer, etc. We're also going to start with the velocity dryer. Okay, we'll always start at the back of the dog. Don't start at the head. Okay, I'm just going to quickly show you how this works. Sorry, the hose is kind of twisted. I'm going to turn it on again. I'm going to turn it on lower than high, okay? And I want to get it in close and move the dryer. Don't just do this. It'll take forever. The more we move the dryer, the faster the dog will dry. Work on small sections at a time. Again, don't just go, oh. You want to make sure that you're getting the dog dry right down to the skin. Okay? Again, underneath, try and start from the base of the hair out. Okay? And keep the dryer moving. If it's a large dog, you can always have two continuous dryers at the same time, along with the sand dryer, which should be pointing at his head, but he's looking at the back. Underneath on your feet, same thing, nice and close, but not on the skin. Just close.